What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Syndicate Talk. I'm your host, TJ, with the Boxing Syndicate, and we got a very special guest on today, my guy, James Crunchtime Wilkins. What's going on, dog?
What's up with your champ?
Nothing much, dog. I really appreciate you being on, dog. I've been hip to you for a little while now. I think the first time I got hip to you, you were training with Mustafa down there in Atlanta, and I seen you getting some work in down there, and
Yeah,
I seen you getting some work in down there, and I just love your attitude, the work you put in. I just instantly became a fan, just like by the videos you put out, just motivating people and shit like that. I just instantly became a fan, so I appreciate you for being on, bro.
absolutely. I appreciate you guys for having me. Appreciate what you're doing for boxing. Us fighters, we got stories, but without the people that can help us tell our stories, we just fighters. So we need the
Right.
people to help. I appreciate you as well.
So let's hop into it, man. How did you get your start in boxing? What made you want to get into a crazy sport like this, man?
Honestly, crazy because I was playing football. I never even thought about boxing. I just happened to always be fighting in school, and I never was like a bully, but I would fight the people that thought they were tough. Like if you thought you was a bully, I wanted to fight. That started. So I got in trouble in school, and I got to go to the gym. One of the coaches took me to the gym, and I sparred with a cop. And I was like, I could hit this cop and not get in no trouble. I fell in love with the sport. Then I just kept training, older and maturing. I fell in love with the art of boxing. I started watching Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, these great fighters, and I fell in love with the sport. I fell in love with how they came from poverty and now they're wealthy. Like they're beyond rich. They got wisdom. They got successful businesses. They're extremely established. So I fell in love with that, and I said, "This is gonna be my way out."
For sure, for sure. And then I wanted to ask you as well, because like I've been hearing you say the Crunch Time name for a long time. And where did the name come from?
The name came from I was actually sparring, and I sparred like my boy Brandon Brown called it to me first, but I was sparring with like three people one day. And I wound up stopping two of them, and the third one I just hurt real bad. So my boy was like, "Yo, you was crunching." My boy was like, "Yo, you was crunching shit today." So I said, "Yeah, it's crunch time," and it kind of just stuck with
Right. No, that
me.
makes sense though. Like it's just crunch time. Now
Yeah,
it's time to
the
get
name,
busy.
the
Right.
name just stuck after that.
Right. Shit. Then like I actually seen you post a little clip. It wasn't too much of like it was an amateur fight. You and I think you probably knew the guy you were fighting. Y'all, y'all showed love or whatever. It was a little amateur fight. So I wanted to ask you, like, what was your amateur career like? How was that?
It was pretty good. I feel like I started late. Like I started at 14, so I only had about 60 fights. I had like 60, yeah, 60 fights. I was like 50-10 in the amateurs.
Okay, yeah. And did you feel like, because I know a lot of fighters say like they need 100 fights, they need 150 fights to feel ready to go to the pros. Do you feel like
Nah,
your 60 got you ready?
yeah, but because it's crazy because I grew up in a good era to where like I was in I was around a lot of great fighters. Like I had the same coaches, Danny Jacobs, Curtis Stevens. So I had the privilege of training with these world class fighters at a young age. I was sparring with great fighters. I had the privilege of sparring with Ivan Baranchak, all these guys. Like I sparred with Oscar Valdez. I done
Mm,
sparred with all the fighters in Cali. So many of the Ukrainian fighters too I sparred with coming out of when they came from the 2012 Olympic team. They came to train with my coach Andre Rozier and Gary Starks. So I had so much good sparring that I felt like prepared me for the pros to where when I was in the amateurs my last year in the Golden Gloves, when I was leaving for the Olympic qualifying trials, I lost in the Olympic qualifying trials in the semifinals to a kid from Philly in Philly. Gave him two 8 counts and everything. I could show you my book. And they gave him the decision. So I didn't get to go to the Olympic trials. After that, I just turned pro. But I always knew I had a pro style, even at a short period of time. 'Cause I never fought like an amateur. If you look at my amateur fights, I always fought like a pro. Like I was always aggressive, but an aggressive like when I like to think of myself as like an aggressive boxer puncher because I don't just sit there and brawl and trade punches. I like to move my head and be slick, but I like to hurt people. Like that's what I like to do. Like I want to hurt you. I don't want to just get points. I want to knock you out if I can.
Right. You definitely want to get the motherfucker out of there if you can get him out of there for sure, for sure. And then, like,
Hmm.
without any fights in 22, when can we expect to see you back in the ring in 23?
Yeah, I didn't get to fight 2022. It's crazy too because I thought after I beat that Juan Tapia kid, I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was gonna definitely keep me above the ranks because before that fight I was ranked like 60 some. And then right after that, I dropped all the way to the top 25. Now I'm ranked 22 right now if you check BoxRec. But I didn't fight in a year, so it says inactive. But before that, I was ranked 22. This year, I signed a little contract with Jada Promotions. So I'm guaranteed 3 fights this year. They have to give me 3 fights this year. So right now, he didn't tell me when my first fight was going to be, but I signed a 3-year contract for the year, so that I'm guaranteed 3 fights. So I don't know how they're gonna get it, but three
Oh yeah, we
fights,
getting it in though. Yeah,
3 fights
I
this
can't
year.
wait for them motherfuckers. Like you
Yeah,
were saying though, I love your style because it's not like you in there just it's trading with a motherfucker. You know what I mean? You really in there, you
hmm
boxing, but like you said, you trying to get him the
yeah.
fuck out of there at the same time.
Like if you look at my fight with Kodo's kid, I should. I don't know how they gave that fight to that kid. I beat him. I felt every round, and then the 10th round, I clipped him and hurt him. I thought for sure, and they took a point from him for holding. So I thought for sure I won that fight, and that was for the NABO WMBO title. So I should have been a champion already.
Then I wanted to ask you, what weight will you be fighting at? Because I seen like when I was looking at your box rec, I seen you fought at 126 a couple times, but I also seen you tried out a couple 130s. Are you looking to
Mhm.
maybe try out 135 at all? Like what weight do you want to fight at?
My goal before I go up to 35, really even before I came up to 30, if you look at my box rec, that's why I went down to 26. Cause I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be a multiple division champion. So I went to 26 to fight for the NABO WBO intern world title. I want to get a title at 26, 30, 35, and as far as I could go up after that. But I definitely wanted to get that title, that NABO. So if I can get my rematch with them, I want that. Because next time I fight him, I'm knocking him out.
You
I'm
got to,
knocking
because
him out.
sometimes, yeah, man, because sometimes these judges, man, it's so biased, or you know
Bro,
what I
and,
mean, like you.
and if you look at the scores on BoxRec to the fight, it's crazy, bro. Because they took a point from him and the scores was still like that. So if the scores were like that with the point taken away from him holding, I don't even want to know what they would have looked like if the point wasn't.
Right. It did. Like I wanted to, like you kind of reiterated not too long ago. I was going to ask you about your great win over Tapia. Like you got the chance to fight on a great card, Loma Comey. What was the mindset going in there? And of course, like, what is it like pushing through like you like to say, what is it like pushing through the championship rounds because you had to go the whole 8?
Honestly, bro, it was good because I felt like my past 2 fights, like even the fight before that, the Puerto Rican kid, like I didn't get a stoppage for either one of them. So I feel like I not everybody sees me punching and knocking a lot of people out, but they never see me get to box and display my talent. So I felt like, especially with 2 big fights, like back to back, like 2 big fighters back to back, like this kid Tappy is a good fighter. A lot of people don't give him the credit he deserves. Before me, he fought 2 former Olympians. None of them dropped him, some Russian kid, I think, and Shakur Stevens. Shakur Stevens
Mm.
is a world champion, a great fighter. So he fought 2 fighters, and none of them dropped him. None of them even hurt him. I dropped him with a jab. And then I continued to control the pace. I continued to box him. But I feel like people are so used to seeing me just press, 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 and not box that when they seen me box, when I listen to the commentary, They were like, "Oh, Tapia is controlling the fight. Wilkins is moving," but that's Tim Bradley talking. Like,
I was
bro,
about to say,
this is boxing. You're supposed to stick and move,
right.
but
Like you said though, people so used to you applying that pressure, maybe thinking that you're looking for a knockout, not seeing you display your skill set, but
yeah.
once you start doing that,
And if you look at the fight with Tapia, bro, the whole time I was pressing, and when I was loading up looking for the big shot, they were landing, but I didn't drop him. When I took my
right,
time and just took a little step back and shot that jab head off the line, that's the shot that set him down. So you have to look at that stuff, and you gotta give, like, even if it wasn't me, I would still give another fighter credit, because I'm not looking at just a bro. I'm looking at the art of the sport. Like, damn, this
mm-hmm.
kid took his time. He sat back. He waited. He let him punch. He slipped. He counted and counted and dropped him. So if I seen another fighter do that, I would take my hat off and give credit. You feel me? But a lot of people are quick to just judge off of your past. So I feel like me being in my past, being an aggressive fighter and maybe not as smart because I was younger, they judge me off that. But it's alright. They gonna see it in the long run.
Right. And then like I was saying before we start recording, man, your energy, your confidence, like your motivation that you get put out to the world, bro, is contagious. Like where does that come from? And have you always been like that, or is that something you had to learn?
I wouldn't say it's something that I'm not gonna say like, all right, so I always had the confidence. I always had confidence in myself from even when I was yay high. But I feel like when you go through adversity in life and you transfer it into a sport, that will determine on how you react to life, because we all go through struggles. So it's easy for, let's say, if I go through a struggle and somebody else goes through a struggle, you have two options. You got two options. Everybody has two options. You can either sit there, cry and complain and be like, man, I'm fucked up right now. Excuse my language. I'm messed up right now, but I don't think I could keep going. Or you could sit there, you could pick your head up and you could be like, man, it's bad right now, but if I stop, it could get a lot worse.
Right,
Me, I think about it all the time, bro. And people ask me, they're like, "Yo, well, how do you get around it? You got to run through it. There's no way around it. How'd I go from being homeless to finally getting a house? I didn't sit there cry and complain and be like, "Oh, I'm homeless, I'm homeless, I'm homeless." No, I got up off my ass and I made it. I made something happen. You gotta make something happen. That's
right.
where
At the end of the day,
that's where championship rounds comes in, because when shit gets rough, that's when you gotta get tough. When shit gets rough, that's when you gotta get tough.
man. And then like you kind of did it already, but what would you tell some people like, who do get discouraged or, do don't have that same type of confidence that that you might have, that or aren't able to think themselves through tough situations? What would you tell them?
Uh, I mean, it would depend on who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to like a female, I mean, you would have to be a little more lenient. You would have to just pick your words a little different and tell them, like, they gotta try to keep their head up and find something that they're good at and try to sell it. Because at the end of the day, if you work for McDonald's or wherever you work, you gotta sell. You gotta sell. So like, you make a sandwich, you sell it, boom. But if the customer don't like, they come back, they want a new one. So I would tell a female, I would tell her whatever she's gonna do, she gotta do at her best. And because now I think different. I'm having a daughter, so I want my daughter to have a say in the world too. So I would tell them the same thing. Like, you just gotta find something that you're good at and try to make the best out of it. But for a man, I would tell him straight up, because I had to go through the same thing you had to go through. That's why it's hard for me to call people my equal, because I feel like a lot of people, especially in this boxing game, like, a lot of people are so weak minded. Like, people tell me all the time, yo, you gonna overwork. How I don't understand, how can I overwork and I'm not where I
Right.
wanna be yet? There's no such thing as, like, you look at a guy like Floyd Mayweather, he'll go to the nightclub and then at 4 in the
Mm-hmm.
morning he's running. Kobe Bryant, he'll tear something in his fingers. He'll tape his fingers and continue to ball. Michael Jordan, he'll win game. It don't even make it to
Right.
7.
Shit, motherfucker played through the flu was throwing up and
So
shit.
if I'm talking to a man, I would tell him straight up, buckle up and go through that process. Cause as a man, there's no other way, bro. There's no other way. People don't feel bad for men like they would a woman. Like if you see a single mom and she's trying to get on the bus with 8 bags and a carriage, you're gonna ask her, "Hey, you need some
Right.
help?" If you see a man getting on the bus with 8 bags and he looks like he's struggling, you're gonna be like, "All right, champ, come on."
No, for real though. No, for
You
real.
feel me? It's different. So, and I feel like that's the problem with a lot of men. I feel like we don't uplift each other enough to be men. We feel like if I really love you, I'm not gonna sit there, pat you on your back, and be like, "Yo, come on, man, hold your head, champ. Don't worry, it's gonna get better." I'm lying to you if I tell you that. If I love you and I care about you, I'm gonna tell you just like this. Come on, bro, you gotta dig deep. I need you to get up and go harder, cause it ain't gonna get easier. But if you sit here like this, it's gonna get worse. If you don't do nothing about your situation, it's only gonna get worse. It ain't gonna get better. That's why I tell people all the time, if you love me, tell me the hard truth, cause I want to get better.
Period.
I don't need you to lie. I don't need you to lie to me and tell me what you think I want to hear. That ain't
Right.
gonna help me.
Right. And then, so could you tell us a little bit about some? You kind of reiterated a little bit this. You kind of talked about it a little bit too, but like, could you tell us some of the guys you got some really good work sparring with?
Yeah, I definitely got some good work with like Oscar Valdez when I was fighting in the Golden Gloves in New York. Him and his team, they gave me some work. I was only like 17 at the time. I got to work with Javante Davis when I was out there with Floyd and them. I got to I was at that time I was only like 2-0. I got to work with I can't think of this kid's name, but he trained with Manny Robles, I believe. Coach Robles from Cali. He was a Brazilian silver medalist in the World Championships. I got to spar with him. I sparred with Ivan Baranchek. Honestly, bro, I sparred with so many great fighters, bro. I really don't even remember off the top of my head. Like, look, I almost forgot I sparred with Chop Chop Coley, like, and that's a man that shared the ring with Floyd Mayweather. You feel me? Like, these are great fighters. And then, bro, I sparred with almost every one of Floyd's fighters that was in his camp. Cause when I went to Floyd's gym at that point in my life, I didn't have enough money to pay the gym membership. So they would just land me in there off the strength of that. I was sparring with their fighters and I worked hard. So they would just land me train
Right.
for free. To do that, I had to spar with everybody. So I sparred with that lefty, the kid
Mm-hmm.
Memphis. I sparred with my boy Darren Cunningham, the third. Good little fighter, good kid. I was sparring with him. That's when he was signed with Devin Haney promotion and them. Shout out to Devin, that's my man. I was training out there with him. Me and Devin never sparred, but I was training with Devin. Me and Devin were training with Coach Dewey Cooper at the time we was out there. We used to run the mountains and all that together.
And then you just mentioned some coaches, man. Could you tell us a little bit about your team? Shout your team out a little bit. Like tell us little bit about your coaches. How long you been with them?
Yeah, so my coach Gary Starks, he's the main coach that's my head coach. He's the coach that taught me how to throw a jab. He taught me everything in boxing, Coach Gary. That's my main coach. That's my first coach that I ever had. And then really like I never left him. Like I didn't leave him in the sense of like, oh, I need a new coach. Nah, that was never the plan. The thing about my story and my journey with boxing was when I was homeless in New York and I was coming up, I told my mom, instead of like going to a shelter, me as a man, I don't want to live off the system. So I told my mom, I'm gonna save money and I'm gonna just buy like a plane ticket and go somewhere warm. And that's when I was watching boxing and I was watching Floyd's gym and I seen the
Mm-hmm.
doghouse. I was like, that's where I'm gonna go. I said, I need to get to Vegas. I booked a one-way ticket, bro. One way,
Nope.
no nothing else. Just went out there with a gym bag and a suitcase. Went out there, started training. Had no coach, no nothing. I met Coach Dewey, and I started training with Coach Dewey and them. But before I started training with Coach Dewey and them, the way they seen me was I was actually working out. This one day, I was working out with Coach Eddie Muhammad Mustafa, one of the trainers out there. Not sure if you ever heard of him, but he used to be a world champion. I was training with him, and Coach Dewey seen me training. And the next day, he asked me if I could work with one of his fighters. And he had some kid from like the UK I was working with. He don't train him no more, but I done mopped the floor with him. And then I asked Coach Dewey, cause I seen how he was with his fighters. I said, "Hey, can I work out with you guys? Come run with you guys and all that." And then we just became cool. So I started training with them, and he showed mad love. And then after Vegas, I went to Dallas for a little bit, trained with Virgil Ortiz and them and his team. But the only real person that I caught a connection with on something crazy was Roy Jones Jr. Cause the way I met Roy and everything, like a lot of people don't know, cause I couldn't talk about it cause at the time I was in court. But I was going through my court cases. I had gone to a fighting school back in 2016, and I was fighting this court case all the way to like 2019. I wound up hitting this kid in school, and his head hit the wall. And he had like a seizure. And the whole time I was going to court, the first offer I got at 2016 was 10 years. After that, it dropped down because I kept going, and court drops down. Boom. I wound up taking 2 years probation. And before I took the 2 years probation, Roy Jones wrote me a letter for court. And when the judge read it, she seen I was Roy Jones Jr. and she seen that like I was doing positive things with my life. So they told me they were gonna allow me to start traveling again with my
Mm.
probation. So luckily I got to travel, and when I had the opportunity to travel, I asked my lawyer if she could ask the judge if it was okay if I did a full training camp in Pensacola with Roy. And they allowed me to do that. And when they allowed me to do that, me and Roy just got real close. And still to this day, I talk to Roy. Roy's like a father figure to me, so he still trains me when he's around. But Roy's so busy.
Man,
That's Roy Jones Jr. So
I was about to say that's
he got his life that he got to do for himself, you know. But I'm still working to be my own superstar. I don't want to live in his
right.
spotlight, and he understands that. That's why we connect like we connect.
Right, right. And I was about to say, shit, he just got done. He was with Eubank and them not too long ago, a couple days ago. He was just with Eubank.
Hmm.
So I was about to say, that's a hell of a fucking, just a connection to have, bro. Just Roy Jones Jr., you able to just pick up the phone or shoot him a text or something. Like, that's just a hell of a connection to
Yeah.
have, bro, for real. And
Hmm.
then,
It is. It is. It's crazy. It's crazy too, bro, because like, you don't really realize those things when you have it. You start realizing it though as you get like when I first got it when I was younger, it was like to me it was like a rush. Like, man, this is
you're
Roy Jones Jr. But now when I look at it and I sit back and look at it like as a man, it's like this is somebody that I watch on TV that everybody knows that took a chance with me. Like, and I was nobody when Roy took a chance with me. I was a kid fighting court cases. Like, why would somebody want to deal with that headache? You
right,
understand? Like, this is Roy Jones Jr. He got kids of his own. Why is he helping me out? You
right,
feel me? So when I started sitting back and thinking about it and observing it, that's when I really took my hat off, and I always give that man the utmost respect no matter what. I don't care if he never trains me or whatever. I will always give him the same respect because he changed my life. He did something that nobody would do for me. He took a chance on me when I was in court, and that's hard to
man,
get.
because it's hard for like maybe even one of your homeboys or uncles to do some shit like that. So for him to, you know
For
what I
real,
mean?
bro. The only person that ever came to my court cases was my mother.
Exactly.
Every court case, my mom. That's it. Nobody can know. No uncles, no cousins. That's when everybody. That's when, bro. When I was going through them situations, bro. That's when nobody was around. But it's crazy. Cause let me get a call to fight in Madison Square
Now motherfuckers
Garden
want tickets.
or one of these everybody want a ticket. Yo, you got me with a ticket, right? I've been around since day one. Shit, I look back at them days, ain't nobody was around.
No, you can't get a motherfucking ticket, man.
Yeah, go on Ticketmaster.
Man. And then, man, I got this. I feel like this is a good question. I wanted to ask you this because I feel like this is gonna be a good. I'm interested to see who you say. If you could pick a active fighter to have a big pay per view fight with, who would it be?
Like for me to fight
Yep.
them or like just
No,
to
for you
watch
to
as a
get in
fan?
the ring with him. Yep.
For me to fight, you know what fight? I would say that Mexican kid that Top Rank got. The one with the long arms. What's his name? He looked like he always got the cowboy hat on.
Oh,
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I think I know what you're talking about though. I'm seeing the cowboy hat, but I can't think of his name right now. You see?
Yeah, he got I can't his name is like it's like Ella something. I would want that fight
He
though.
signed the top rank. You said. He
Yeah,
fighting.
because people make him out to be like this boogeyman, like, and I don't know. I just think, I just got that shit you can't teach, bro. Like that dog, like it comes from just coming from poverty and just coming from nothing. Like it's a different type of dog, bro. I'm
Uh,
telling you, when you start like, because look, a lot of boxers like they work hard and they train or whatever, but when you been through life, like I'm talking about on another level, like when you seen bodies fall, like when you done seen bullets, when you seen that type of shit, it makes a different monster in you, bro. Like, so I tell people like boxing is like a sport. That's how they look at it. So like if you could take a fighter that got skills and he could outbox you for a little bit, but the fight starts getting rough and you start digging and you're cracking real hard, how much longer can you keep me off you?
right.
How much longer can you keep me off you? When I'm throwing punches with the same intentions as them bullets got, how much longer can you really keep me off you?
And that's when that dog come in. Like, do you really got it in you? You know what I mean? You skilled, but do
Mm-hmm.
you really got it in you though?
You got that dog, you got that killer in you, because that's what it's gonna take to go to that next level. And I feel like that's where I'm at with my career. Like I feel like with people fighting me, I feel like it's like a hit or miss. It's like a wild card for them, because even when I go on these promotional cards and I fight their fighters and they try to rob me, it's like it's hard for you to do it because I'm dogging them. So even that fight with Kodo's guy, like look at the fight. If you look in the background, you see Kodo pacing back and forth, just grabbing his bald head, trying to rip his scalp out. He ain't even got hair. I'm fiending for that rematch, bro. I promise you, the day I get that rematch, keep this video, keep the date. He's going under.
Yeah, I hope you get that motherfucker because it seemed like you so passionate about that motherfucker, and it was your shot for the titles and shit.
Bro, just think, bro. If I would have got that decision, bro, my whole life would be changed different. Like we wouldn't even be sitting here talking right now like we're talking. Like I would be 6, 7 figures high right now after that.
Man,
Cause I would have immediately went got the title. After I would have got the title, I would have been defending my title, and life would be different.
right.
But I feel like everything happens for a reason. So I take the good with the bad, and at the end of the day, I get that rematch, and it's gonna be a lot worse for
Man,
him.
it's on and popping. Then what would you like to
Yeah.
say? What would you say you love most about boxing? Is it like performing for the fans? Is it just the adrenaline rush? Like, what would you say?
Honestly, for me, I like I like everything about it. Like, first of all, I feel like you gotta fall in love before the lights, the cameras, before all that. I feel like you gotta fall in love with the process. Like, you gotta fall in love with working hard, because without the hard work, you ain't gonna even get to those levels if you ain't disciplined or consistent. So I feel like the consistency has to be first. So I definitely fell in love with like my craft and just working hard and trying to get better. But then after that, instantly, I love the lights, I love the cameras, like I love the people, I love the cheering, I love everything. Like I love the booze, I love it all. Like, cause I feel like it's like it's different energy transfer. Like you got a bunch of people that are coming to either pay and watch you do good, or you got a bunch of people that are coming to pay to watch you do bad. And in my eyes, like Floyd used to say, all I see is you either paying to come see me, period.
Right.
So I take it either way you want to give it. It's support is support.
Shit, y'all here to see me at the end of the motherfucking day. Shit.
Exactly. Support is support. I take it however you gonna give it. You wanna be nice about it, thank you. You wanna be rude about it, that's cool too. God bless you.
And then what would you say are some things you like to do outside of boxing just to take your mind off a little bit?
Hon- Honestly, everything. Like I'm different. Like one day you might catch me playing ball. One day you might just catch me chilling with my girl. Another day I could just be laying down. But a lot of people don't know, bro. I like to read a lot and I like to watch a lot about like real estate, stocks,
Mm-hmm.
like stuff like that. I read a lot. Like right now I'm reading this book called Think and Grow Rich. I like books. I love reading. It's crazy because people look at my neck, they see my tattoos, and they must think stupid. Like they just stupid.
No, bro, people do be like that because I'm tatted up and shit too, and people looking at the tats
Yeah,
and shit.
bro. Everywhere I go, bro,
I'm like, man, get
people
the
just
fuck
look.
out of here, dog.
Bro, it's crazy, bro, because sometimes I could just feel it, bro. Like sometimes I'll be in the store with my girl, bro, and I just feel like people are watching me, bro. And I turn around, and there'll be somebody like acting like he's working, putting something on the shelf. And I just tell him, I'll be like, bro, if I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna take it.
Right. You ain't gonna stop me from taking them.
You ain't gonna stop me from taking it, bro. Like, come on now.
Dog, silly as hell, dog. And then,
Bro, I swear, bro, it be like that. People be looking like, I don't know, bro. You can't judge a book by its cover, bro. Because I'm the type of person, bro, where, like, you'll never see me talk about what I do, bro. But I'll be the first person if I think you're doing bad or doing a little worse than me, I try to uplift you or just give you whatever I could give you. No matter what it is, I try my best.
they will see like the neck tats and shit. They be like, what the hell?
Yo, bro, it's crazy, bro. Cause sometimes when I'm jogging and like I jog past people, bro, like you ever run past somebody and, like they turn around real fast, like nervous. I do it all the time, bro. And I'm jogging, I got music on, I'm singing, turning up while I'm on run, trying to hype myself up, and people just be scared. I'm
Yeah.
like, God.
Like, I'm not about to try to grab your purse, man. Get the
Yeah, you done scared me. How scared you got?
Right. So one more thing I wanted to talk to you about too, man. I wanted to say congrats on you. I know you just had your gender reveal in November. You having a daughter. Congrats on that, and engagement,
Yeah,
So congrats on that,
yeah.
Doug. How has that like sparked a new fire in you?
Honestly, bro, like knowing that I'm having my daughter, that's probably the best thing that I ever got to have or feel. Cause I never had a lot growing up. I damn near didn't have nothing growing up. I feel like ever since I found out I was having my daughter, I feel like life just been good. Like life is perfect. Now, like everything's going up. So I can't wait to finally meet my daughter and just hold her and thank her because I feel like having a daughter is changing my mindset, just changing how I think. Don't get me wrong, I ain't nowhere near perfect, but I definitely feel like having my daughter played a big part in how I think about certain things now because the old me, I ain't really think too much, and that's why I was in the trouble I was in, but now I try my best to really just take whatever I could take and think about it before I do anything because I wanna be there to raise my daughter. I wanna be a good father, most importantly. And I wanna show my daughter that like if you work hard, you could do anything. Like no matter what it is, it might be hard, but it's possible. As long as you work hard enough, you could do it. So that's gonna be my thing with my daughter. I'm gonna make sure she know like you just gotta work hard and whatever you want you can have, but you gotta work hard. Ain't nothing gonna come easy. I'm gonna spoil my daughter, but she's gonna know about life. Like she's gonna know like you can't play around with this shit. Like you gotta be dedicated at anything you do. That's it. You gotta be dedicated at whatever you want to do. Cause if you ain't, somebody else gonna get it. And I want her to know that. Like, yeah, I could do anything I want.
No, but that shit lovely to fucking hear from like a fighter because they think of y'all just tough all the damn time. You know what I mean? And that shit is
Yeah, I mean it's good to be tough, but at the same time it's good to, you know, I ain't like the best at being a lover boy, but it's good to like show your love, especially when it comes to like I ain't gonna never in my life will I ever be embarrassed to show my love for my daughter, you know, or my girl. Like that's not even a question. Like I feel like if my queen she treats me good, my daughter treats me good, then you should always want to treat them good. You feel me? Now I'm not saying I'll be like that with like if I didn't have my girl and I was just doing my thing, messing with different women, I wouldn't be like that with just random women. I wouldn't care. Like if I woke up tomorrow and you wanted to leave, see you later. I get 10 more of you. I wouldn't care, but it's different. Like now I got a family. Like I got my fiance, I got my daughter. Like this is my first one too, so it's special. Like I'm starting my life to where everything's about to fall into place, and especially now that I got 3 fights back to back this year. I'm guaranteed 3 fights. I know in between these fights, I'm gonna just want to spend time with my family and just go to different places. As soon as my daughter could travel, I want to take her to. I probably want to go to DR.
you say you want to go where?
I want to go to like DR or something.
Oh, okay, hell yeah. And
And
then now it's
soon as she can start traveling.
And then it's like a mindset because boxing or any combat sport is so lonely. Now you're not doing anything for yourself anymore. Now it's all about the fam. You know what I mean? How is
Hmm.
that? How has that played a part? How is that different? Because you be training when you want to, when you can. Now it's like, well, maybe I can't train right now. I got to go get my daughter. I got to, you know what I mean? How is that? Have you thought about that yet?
Yeah, I definitely thought about it, and I feel like a lot of fighters, like I don't know, a lot of fighters feel like, oh, I gotta go away to camp. I can't be around my family. That's a distraction. Like to me, that don't make no sense. Like, how do you start a family and say you gotta leave your family because they're a distraction? Like, I feel like I would train harder knowing that if I look to the left of me, I see my daughter or I see my girl. Like, I feel like I would train harder than even if let's say I did have to go to like Vegas and do a training camp out there, I would fly my family out there too.
Right.
I would want them to be there the whole camp because to me that's not a distraction. Like, how's your family a distraction, but you'll go and you'll go chill in the casino for 3 hours?
Right.
That don't make no sense to me. I'd rather sit home when I'm not training, enjoy my family, hang out with my daughter, watch a movie or something while I'm resting, than go chill with my boys in the casino that are only gonna hype me up to spend money.
Right. And lose that shit. Duh.
Yeah, come on. So I definitely don't think it's a distraction. I feel like it's a good thing. Because if anything, I feel like, but that's what I'm saying, bro. That goes back to the first part of our conversation about being a man, bro. It depends on your own focus, bro, your own determination, your own consistency. If you're consistent with your craft, you know, it's my time to rest and recover right now. I get to chill for a few hours before I gotta go work out again. I could chill with my family, get up in 2 more hours, go for my run or whatever, whatever. But if you got a weak mindset, you're gonna look at that time like, oh man, my family's a distraction. I could be doing something else.
Right.
When you're in camp though, what you gonna be doing?
Nothing. You can't do shit like you want. So you can't really
You
do
can't
shit.
eat no ice cream.
Like, you know what I
You
mean?
can't go play ball and hurt yourself.
Right.
So I don't know. Me, I'm looking at it like a blessing all the way around. Yeah, and that's another thing too. I feel like people tell me, "Oh, having a kid is hard." I had a dog before. You gotta do the same thing.
Same shit.
Change diapers, but with your kid, it's a little harder because that's your baby. So I had a dog before.
I was about to say you would figure it out, man. Shit, I don't have no kids, but from the people I know, it's all a learning process. You know what I mean? You gonna learn as you go. Shit.
Yeah, and I raised my godson too, so I ain't really too much worried about it. I'm good. I'm good with kids. So I know like having my own is just gonna be different. Like it's gonna be something that you're passionate about, just like boxing for me.
Right. Right. And then, so who would you consider? Because it could be so many people. Who would you consider your pound for pound number one guy right now?
Pound for pound right now, damn. When's the last time Canelo fought?
Bivol. No, he fought Triple G after Bivol, and that was this past summer.
I ain't gonna lie. I think Canelo's the face of boxing right now, but pound for pound, I would say, man, I know this one might come back and haunt me because boxing critics be crazy, but I think Earl, bro. I think
Errol
number
Spence?
one. I think number one. I'll put Earl Spence, bro. I feel like because let's look at his situation. He been through so much throughout his whole career, bro. And every time he came back, he didn't take a tune-up fight. He didn't take no
Yeah.
step-up fights. He straight fought dogs, bro. Danny Garcia is a big name, bro. A lot of people don't give Danny his credit because they might feel like he ain't the best boxer, but Danny's a good fighter, hands
Yeah.
down. You gotta give that man his respect. He could fight. So, my number one, I always say I would put Canelo just because I feel like Canelo, he did a lot after Floyd. Like after he fought Floyd and lost, he became a mega star. But I would have to put Earl just because of everything he went through in his life outside of boxing and how he came back in the sport and still fought top names. So I would put Earl above Canelo right now.
No, I definitely hear you on that. And I know a lot of people kind of get Canelo out of that number one spot because of the loss to Bivol. But he
I
did
mean,
move up.
I don't take him out of that number one spot because the loss to Bibble, only because he moved up in weight to do that.
Yeah.
So to me, he took a chance that nobody else would take. So I definitely take my hat off to him for that. But I don't know, just being a fan of boxing and watching boxing, I feel like people don't give Earl the credit for everything he went through. Cause like I said, bro, life experience is experience. How many people could fly out of a car like he flew out of and just get up and still live their life? You feel me? A lot of people can't even live.
Survive. Shit.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people can't even live their life after that. This man, not only is he living his life, but he's providing for his family, and he's still on the elite level. He beat Ugas. He beat Danny. Like, he beat good fighters, bro. Ugas just beat Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao was pound for pound for how long?
15
Okay.
years, maybe longer.
Okay, and this man beat Ugas convincingly. And he did that.
Keith
So
Thurman.
he's gonna smoke. I don't even want to see him fight Keith Thurman. Honestly, bro, if I was Earl, I would do the same thing that Keith Thurman did to him, bro. I would treat him irrelevant now. Like I don't need
Yeah.
you no more. I wouldn't even give him an opportunity to make no money because when Earl was coming up and Earl was hungry and Earl wanted to make money, what did they do? They closed the door on Earl. Not because Earl wasn't ready. They did that because they were scared of that man.
Yeah.
Come on now, be real.
And now
Earl
I
would have
think I think that's why
Earl
Errol
would have
want to fight
smoked
him
him.
at
He would have
yeah.
smoked him then.
When he was younger, oh my God. And then I think Errol because they fighting at 154 if it happens. They fighting at 154. And I think that's kind of the reason why they doing it, because Errol don't want to give him a chance at the 147 belts. So like why would I give you a shot at the 147 belts? You ain't give me no shot back in the day, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I think that's why he's fighting him
Exactly.
at 154. Yeah.
Yeah, just to be petty, just cause I don't even want you to have none. I just want to knock your ass out just for playing.
Right.
I do.
It's,
I tell you what though, if that fight with Earl and Crawford happens, Earl's gonna shock the world, bro. Earl gonna win. Watch.
I was about to say, do I got that on here? I was about to say, I got a couple some quick fight questions. I don't want to get too far into the to the
Earl
questions
gonna
yet.
win, bro.
But so who would you fight? Oh, not who would you fight, but who would you say the top three guys in your weight are? Nick, you can choose whatever weight you think you want to compete at next. I guess so. 126, 130, 135, whatever weight you want to choose. Who do you think those top three
Uh,
guys are?
so my first one is that kid I told you about with Top Rank. At I think he's at 130. I think he's at 130. Who has who has the belt at 130 WBC?
At 130, Shakur just moved up, so it's not Shakur no more. Um, I want to say it's not Navarrete. Navarrete at 126.
I don't know who it is, bro, but there's something about that belt, bro. I just love that belt. That belt always been a dream to me, the WBC. So I don't even care who got it. Like I wouldn't even care. It's just the belt. Like,
That
bro, it's
green
crazy
motherfucker
because
look good, don't it?
bro, I touched that belt so many times, bro. Like, I got to hold Muhammad Ali's WBC belt. I got to hold some other fighter. I forgot his name, but he was at the Barclays Center one day when I was young in the amateurs. I got to hold his belt, and then I got to hold all Roy Jones belts when I was at his house, and he even let
Mm,
me hold his medal. I got to play with his medal, and I was just holding his belts, and I was like, man.
dang.
But there's something about that green one, bro. Like I just like how it
Motherfucker,
feels.
dog. That boy be looking good. It don't matter what face on it. Sometimes it got the gold, sometimes it got the silver, but it look good
That
whatever,
shit
dog.
is special, bro. Every time I hold that belt, so whoever got that one, I want the top ranked kid for sure, cause he got a good belt too. I think he got the WBO. Yeah, he got the WBO. The top ranked kid, I believe. He got the WBO. He beat the short African kid. What's his name?
At 130, dog, though.
Yes, he beat him.
Isaac Dog.
Yeah, he
Now
beat
I
that.
gotta.
So maybe you.
I'm about to look it up on Boxford right now. I gotta see now.
I'm telling you, I can't pronounce this kid's name, bro. But when you see him, you're gonna know. You're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that kid."
And sorry to the audience, I am off camera. I gotta look up this name because we've been thinking about it all day.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah, no,
that's.
you are talking about Navarrete, right? Emmanuel Navarrete?
Yes, yeah, 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 yeah. Him.
No, yeah, Navarrete is a monster though. Navarrete a dog.
Yeah, it's okay. Him. What belt he got?
Oh, yeah, wait, yeah, I'm about to say I know you ain't worried about it, but no, Navarrete definitely a great fighter. Yeah, he beat most of the guys at 126 to 130 right now. He knocking guys off right now for sure.
Yeah, that's something I would want to check off my list. Like on my boxing list, like my dream fights for titles. Like if he got a title, that's one of my dreams. Like I would want his belt
And would you
because I
want to
feel
fight
like
him
that's
at
a I
120?
I feel like that's a fighter that people are scared of. So I feel like just because of that reason, I would want it.
Yep, yep. No, he definitely one of them. I guess you could call boogeyman at 126 to 130. You know, people don't want to get in the ring with him. He's so awkward. He punch awkward. He do real awkward shit and get guys out of there. But no, I definitely would want to see you off because with your style and like his just awkwardness, that fight would be crazy. So I understand why
Hmm.
you said you would make that your pay per view fight because that should be crazy as hell.
And it would sell like crazy.
It would sell.
Him being Mexican, like him being a Mexican fighter, and me being Sicilian Italian, like that collab would be crazy.
Man, the fans will go crazy, bro. And I actually went to the Estrada and Chocolatito fight, their last fight, the trilogy fight. I was there, and then the atmosphere was just crazy because you got the
I
Mexican
got to
fans
I
there.
got to I got to fight on one of his. No, actually I didn't. That was the fight I was supposed to fight Avery Sparrows. Me and Avery Sparrows was supposed to fight on the Golden Boy fight that Chocolatito was on.
Mm.
I didn't get to fight though. Avery Sparrows didn't even show up. I trained 8 weeks for that fight.
Bro, I know that shit is irritating when you
I
put all that
How
work
about
in.
this? I ain't even get Golden Boy didn't even give me a piece of my check. I didn't got $0. Trained eight
Bro,
weeks.
Golden. I heard Golden Boy do bad business over there though, man. I have heard like a lot of guys leave from over there for
I'm not gonna say they would. They definitely didn't treat me bad. I got paid good when I was with them, but
right,
just like I don't know that one situation. That's not why I left them either. I left Golden Boy because Canelo was suing them at the time. So when Canelo was suing them, it put me in a bad position because I wasn't getting the fights that I was promised because
right,
they were going through so much. So we didn't end on bad terms, me and Golden Boy or me and Oscar. We didn't end on bad terms, and still to this day, Oscar shows me love. If he sees me at fights or something, he'll show me love. So I got nothing bad to say about them. It just didn't fit me at the moment. Like me staying with them didn't fit me at the moment. But that one situation, not getting paid after training for all that time, that got me mad. But I mean, that wasn't a good enough reason for me to leave them. And that's not the reason I left them anyway, because the fight after that, they promised me a big fight, and that's the fight I got the Puerto Rican kids. So I was grateful for it.
right.
But
So do you
that
feel
would
like?
be
Oh, go
my
ahead.
my bad for cutting you off, but that would be my number 2 fight, that rematch, because I feel like that rematch brings everything back to the start. After I get that belt, I'm right I'm right there. Like
Hmm.
now I'm number 2 in line for the real belt. So that NABO is special to me. I need that back because he's going underneath when I ain't having it all the way. He's going underneath.
Bro, I swear, I hope you get this fight again, dog, because you are on his head, dog. You on his
I'm on his heels, bro. And they tried to find me at the weigh-ins, cause, bro, the thing was, bro, like when I grabbed his neck to push him back, and he slapped me. I was like, ain't no way this man just slapped me, bro.
ass.
A lot of people don't know, bro, because look, a lot of people, I see the comments, a lot of people were saying, oh, how do you feel, champ? Hold that down. Ha ha, ha, you got slapped. A lot of people don't know that same night I spun that block and I was knocking on his hotel room door telling him come
Oh shit!
outside. They won't talk about that though.
No, you slap a man. That's a different type of disrespect.
Yeah,
You ain't that ain't boxing, bro.
but see, this how they tied my hands to where I couldn't do nothing. When they see me marching around the hotel that night looking for him, they the commissioner came to my room, bro. The commissioner
Oh
came
shit!
to my room and he told me outright, if you don't go in your room, not only are we gonna fine you, but we're gonna suspend you.
Oh yeah. See,
So
it wasn't even worth you.
yeah,
He wasn't even worth all that headache.
it wasn't even worth it, but they're gonna have to give me my rematch. So
Man, I swear, I hope you get that motherfucker. Oh my god.
that's not a fight. That's the one I want.
Still on. You still there, Brody?
Yo,
Just waiting on Crunch. I think he paused or he froze on us a little bit. Let's see if he joined back up. But we were close to the end, and we only had about two more questions. But this is my guy. Let's see if he joined back up. He just entered the call, so he probably about to try to join back in. But thank y'all for watching. If y'all have got this far, I appreciate y'all. Give him a little minute, see if he joined back. But if not, I only had a couple more questions for him anyway. And it was a great interview. Y'all can follow him at Real Crunchtime on Instagram. You can follow me at the Boxing Syndicate. Also subscribe to the YouTube. We're gonna have more interviews, more videos coming on the way. But I do want to see if he joined back up. I'm not sure. I don't think he's gonna join back. But like I said, follow us on Instagram at the Boxing Syndicate. Follow James Crunchtime Wilkins. 10-2. He fighting at 126 to 130 to 135. He really can do it all, man. Definitely a great fighter from Brooklyn, New York. So definitely go check him out. Thank you all for listening and have a good one.